Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Simply Scripts Radio. We are using a skeleton crew this time around. I am your host, Mike Shelton, and I am joined by panelist Phil Clarke Jr., also known as Philpot J. Hooligan. Phil, how are you today?
Thank you. That was really ripping.
That's a good name, though, isn't it? Philpot J. Hooligan?
Yeah.
You should use that somewhere. We've got a nice guest lined up. I think this one is going to cover all of our bases, you know, as far as our interest goes. We've got acting, we've got writing, contest directing, all covered here. Our guest tonight is the founder and director of the Shriekfest horror film and screenplay competition, Denise Gossett. Hi,
Hello.
Denise.
Hi, guys.
Phil gives you a standing O.
Thank you, Phil.
We have to get a better soundboard. I can't do it.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's not easy to incorporate a soundboard into Skype. You know, there's different microphones and wires, and things have to be running at 1.21 gigawatts, you know, for all that to hook up and work. So, I haven't quite gotten there yet. Now, the Shriekfest competition, I was doing a little bit of research and reading, you know, some different things in some, previous interviews you've done, and it looked like you had been, you had acted in a horror film at some point, and you were working to get it in festivals, and if I read correctly, there was some trouble there, so you decided to basically start your own?
No.
Okay, so I read that wrong.
No, it's close. It's very close. I had starred in this horror film, and I wanted them to do the festival circuit. And they said there are no horror film festivals in the U.S. And I was shocked, so I did a little bit of research, and I couldn't find any. So that's when I came up with the idea. I told my sister-in-law, and she said, yeah, let's do it. And so that's how it came about.
So
you were the first one.
Yes.
Wow.
2001, well, the first that I know of. But yeah, 2001, we came up with the idea. I came up with the idea in like June of 2001. We actually got the festival and website up in like August and then had the festival in October. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's a pretty quick timeline there. Now, the first year that you had it, was it both films and screenplays?
It was.
Did you have a lot of entries?
We had, surprisingly for that short amount of time, we had a decent amount. But, you know, we wanted to do it in October so bad, we probably should have pushed it to the next year. But naivete will take you far.
Now, when you did, you had this stuff, you know, you were getting your submissions and everything like that. Did you have any trouble finding judges? Was your approach to finding judges any different back then than it is now?
Yes, it's completely different now. 'Cause now, you know, there's so many more submissions that we'll often have like 30 judges or more.
And are these people that you seek out personally, or did you put an ad out there?
Both. We do both things. You know, we try to get agents, literary agents, that sort of thing, producers, directors, people who can possibly help the filmmakers, and then we have a lot of people contact us on a daily basis almost, asking if they could be judges, and then we ask for their resume and see what they've done and how qualified they are, and go from there. And each judge is required to do 20, and then as we have a very elaborate scoring system, and as things are broken down, we decide who keeps moving on, and so on and so forth.
Well, aside from the number of entries you have now compared to way back when, what's the biggest difference? You know, what's the biggest change or the biggest difference you've had in the past 9 years?
You mean in submissions?
Well, no, I mean in regards to Shriekfest itself.
Well, we hear things like, I've been to your festival and I see the caliber of stuff that gets in and mine's not good enough, so I'm not going to submit. So we get things like that now.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually something that's pretty common?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in a way it's a compliment, but people are kind of like downplaying what they think their talent is now because, you know, there's a lot of films out there, a lot of scripts out there that aren't any good, as you guys know.
Yeah, mega piranha
Yes, Phil, we've seen your rant on that one.
I'm not going to let
understand.
that go.
But I mean, is that something where you think, you have this contest which has grown, quite a bit and is fairly large, and, do you think people that, are looking at contests to submit to, that they're looking for, stuff where, the pool might not be as large, and, they're looking, okay, well, if I'm going to spend, $30, $40 or whatever it is to, enter these contests, that, they would like to have a better percentage chance of winning, despite their talent, just kind of using the odds?
I think definitely some people look at it that way. And I would tell people, if you're newer out there, I would target some smaller festivals.
Well, I know there's, what is it? Is it Erie Fest?
Erie Fest in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the New York City Horror Film Festival.
Oh?
In New York City, of course. There are a number of them now. There's probably like
Oh, yes. They're everywhere now. It seems like one shows up every day. Now, often they're out of business the next year, but they keep showing up. I
think the worst part is they all happen within 2 or 3 weeks of Halloween, so you really can't.
Right.
If you wanted to visit them.
Right. It's difficult.
Well, this is actually a very good mix we've got going on here because, I've never entered any kind of contest, really at all, other than, maybe like a one-page free one I saw. And Phil seems to enter just about every contest under the sun. So, we've got very polarizing viewpoints here.
I would have a brand new car now if I wasn't jumping into these competitions.
Yeah, you definitely enter a lot. I know that. I've seen things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also, a good way too. I know you're a pretty decent authority when it comes to, people asking about, how reputable things are. And I mean, of course, you pointed Movie Bites and things like that, but, you have some experience with a number of these and, have won some as well. And me and I'm like, I don't know, it's $30, you buy a case of beer for that.
But you know what, Mike? I think, Phil's name is definitely getting out there because of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I don't deny that. I mean, especially, since he's been able to place in some things like that.
Right.
If he wasn't, I would probably disagree with you. Be like, well, he's in this contest and you could say he entered it, but other than that, I mean, they give me credit in having the, the production of Not Even Death and stuff like that done, is definitely getting his name out there. I don't have anything against contests. I mean, I just, it's always just been something that I've managed to not do.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I'm cheap. That's the only thing I could say.
I think the cost keeps a lot of people away, but at the same time, it also makes the competitions more manageable.
Right.
Because if Shriekfest didn't charge a fee, you'd probably get 50 times the entries.
Right.
Because because as soon as you finish writing a script, you go, oh, it's going to go into this competition because it's free.
Right.
But if they're charging $40, $50, you go, is this really worth it?
Right.
Oh, they're absolutely.
And you do your research and you make sure it is worth it.
Yeah,
maybe do it
absolutely.
Draft.
There absolutely has to be a cost for the these contests because they cost money to run. You need to recoup that, and it does. It serves as a deterrent to keep just getting any old piece of crap thrown at you.
Well, and I hear so many horror stories about other festivals and contests that the person never knows if their submission was received. They just they feel like they're just tossing their money away into the mail.
Yeah, no, that is a big thing with the competitions is some competitions you won't even, most competitions you'll get an email saying, we've received payment, thank you.
Oh,
and that's
good.
the last you hear of them.
Good.
And you have Shriekfest is set up to, you can submit through without a box, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good site. I know some people who submitted some short films that were done through there, and it's definitely a good site to go through. Now, you have the 2010, obviously, it will be coming up in October.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any breakdown on that? What what kind of prizes and whatnot you'll be having? If there's anything you can discuss, what's
we are lining that sort of thing up right now. It's funny because we kind of end up getting sponsors all the way up to the festival. We have a few already. Some companies you might have heard of: Script Delivery, Script Pimp, Sell a Script, Inktip.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the ones we have so far for screenwriters.